Guptas. After the Mauryan Empire, many small kingdoms rose and fell. In the period 300 to 700 CE, a classical pattern of imperial rule evolved. During this period, the kingdom emerged as a great power and achieved political unification of a large part of the Indian subcontinent. It featured a strong central government, bringing many kingdoms under its hegemony. Feudalism as an institution began to take root during this period. With an effective guild system and overseas trade, the Gupta economy boomed. Great works in Sanskrit were produced during this period, and a high level of cultural maturity in fine arts as sculpture and architecture was achieved. The living class standards of upper class reached its peak. Education, art, and study of science progressed, but the feudal system of governments put people in some hardship. Also, some uh, historians claim that Gupta was a period of golden age. It is not entirely accurate. Many scholars would, however, agree that it was a period of cultural force and a classical age for the arts. There are three types of sources for the history of Gupta period. Literary sources Narada, Vishnu, Brihaspati, and Katyayana Smrtis. Kamandaka's Itisartha work on polity addressed to the king 400 CE. Devitandra Gupta and Andhra Rakshasam Vaisisha Dakta provide details about the rise of the Guptas. Buddhist and Jaina texts, works of Kalidasa, accounts of the Chinese traveler Fahin. Epigraphical sources Mehrali iron pillar inscription achievements of which gives achievements of Chandragupta I, Allahabad pillar inscription which gives achievements of the Samudragupta personality achievements in 33 lines composed by Harrison and engraved in Sanskrit and in Nagari script. Numismatic sources, coins issued by the Chandragupta kings contain legends and figures. These coins tell us of the titles of the Guptas assumed and the Vedic rituals they performed. Origins of the Gupta dynasty. Evidence on the origin of the antecedents of the Gupta dynasty limited. The Gupta seems to risen from modest origins. Chandragupta I was the third ruler of the Gupta dynasty, married Kumara Devi Lichavi princess. The marriage is mentioned in the records of his with pride, indicating that the royal connection would have contributed to the rise of Guptas. Lichavi was an old established Gana Sangha in a heritage lay between the Ganges and the Nepal the rise. According to the Allahabad inscription, Samudragupta, the illustrious son of Chandragupta I, had conquered the whole fertile plains of west of Prayag to Mathura and launched a spectacular raid through Kalinga into the south as far as Kanchipuram, the Pallava capital. The Puranas mention Magadha, Allahabad, and Dawood as the Gupta dominions. Chandragupta I and the empire in the first ruler of Gupta period, Sri Gupta period, was Sri Gupta, who was succeeded by son Gatotkacha. Both Sri Gupta and Gatotkacha are mentioned as Maharajas inscriptions. Chandragupta I, the son of Gatotkacha, Gatotkacha ruled from 319 to 335 CE and is considered to be the first great king of the Gupta Empire. Chandragupta held the title of Maharaja the Raja, great king over the other kings. His imperial position is inferred from the records of others. No inscriptions or coins have survived from his reign. Chandragupta I appointed his son Samudragupta to succeed him in 335 CE. A lengthy eulogy on him, inscribed as on an Ashokan pillar, suggests that he was claiming the legacy of the Mauryan kingdom. This inscription gives an impressive list of kings and regions that succumbed to Samudragupta's march across the country. Four northern kings were conquered, mainly in the area around Delhi and western Uttar Pradesh. The kings of the south and the east were forced to pay homage, and from the places mentioned it appears that Samudragupta campaigned down the east coast as far as Kanchipuram. 9 kings of the western half of the Ganges plain were violently uprooted. The forest kings, tribal chiefs of central India and the Deccan, were forced to pay tribute. The kings of Assam and Bengal in eastern India and those small kings in kingdoms in Nepal and Punjab also paid tribute by submission. 9 republics in Rajasthan, including the Malwas and Yaudhayas, were forced to accept Gupta suzerainty. In addition, foreign kings such as the Daivaputra Shahanushahi Kushana title, the Kathakas and the king of Lanka also paid tribute as mentioned in the eulogy. Historians call Samudragupta the Napoleon of India. This statement is undeniable. The southern kings paid tribute while the northern kingdoms were annexed to the Gupta King Empire. Under Samudragupta, his direct control was confined to the Ganges Valley. Since the circus remained unconquered in western India, the tribes of Rajasthan paid tribute, but the Punjab saw outside the limits of his authority. Gupta's campaign broke the power of the tribal republics in those regions that led to repeated invasions from the Huns. The relationship with Kushanas is not certain, but with regard to Lanka, its ruler Meghavarman sent presents and requested permission from Samudragupta to build a Buddhist monastery at Gaya. Samudragupta's reign lasted for about 40 years, which must have given him ample time to plan and organize these campaigns. He performed the horse sacrifice ritual to proclaim his military conquest. Samudragupta patronized scholars and poets like Harisena and those who and thus promoted Sanskrit literature. Thus, an ardent follower of Vaishnavism, he also patronized great Buddhist scholar Vasu Bandhu as a lover of poetry and music. He was given the title Kavi Raja. His rhymes rare the insignia of him playing the veena lute. Named after his grandfather, Chandragupta too was a capable ruler who was ruled from 40 years from 375 to 415 CE. He came to power after succession struggle with his brother Ramagupta. He is also known as Vikramaditya. With the capital of Pataliputra, Chandragupta to extended the limits of the Gupta Empire by conquest and matrimonial alliances. He married off his daughter Prabhavati to a Vakataka prince who ruled the strategic lands of Deccan. This alliance was highly useful when he proceeded against the Saka rulers of western India. Chandragupta too conquered western Malwa and Gujarat by defeating the Saka rulers who had reigned for four centuries in the region. The kingdom's prosperity grew out of its trade links with the Roman Empire. After establishing himself in the eastern and the western India, Chandragupta too defeated the northern rulers like Huns, Kambojas, and Kiratas. He was a great conqueror and an able administrator as well. His other names include Vikrama, Devagupta, Devaraja, Simhavikrama. For his account on Madura and Pataliputra, at Madura the people are numerous and happy and they do not have to register their household. Only those who cultivate the royal land have to pay a portion of the grain from it. Criminals are fined both lightly and heavily depending on circumstances. Throughout the whole country, the people did not kill any living creatures or drink any intoxicant. The inhabitants of Pataliputra are rich and prosperous and vie with one another parties of benevolence. In the cities, the Vaisya families establish houses for dispensing charity and medicines. All the poor and destitute orphans, widows, and childless, maimed, and cripples are provided with every kind of help. Vikramaditya and Zachariah, his court had nine jewels or navaratnas, that is nine eminent people in various fields of art, literature and science. This included the great Sanskrit poet Kalidasa, the Sanskrit lawyer Harisena, and the lexicographer Amarsimha, and the physician Dhanvantari. In the Buddhist scholar from China visited India during his reign. He records the prosperity of the Gupta Empire. Chandragupta too was the first Gupta ruler to issue silver coins. His rule thus formed the peak period of Gupta's territorial expansion. Gupta too was succeeded by his son Kumaragupta, one who founded the Nalanda University. He was also called as the Sakraditya. He the last great king of the Gupta dynasty was Kandagupta, who was the son of Kumaragupta I. He was able to repulse an attack by the Huns, but the recurrence of Huns invasion strained his empire's coffers. Thus, Gupta Empire declined after the death of Skandagupta. So, the last recognized king of the Gupta line was Vishnu Gupta, who reigned from 540 to 550 CE. The origin of Huns is definitely not known according to Rome. Historians intact as they were a barbarian tribe living near Caspian Sea and they contributed to the fall of the Roman Empire. The organized under Attila and were known for their savagery and bestiality in Europe. One branch of Huns known as White Huns moved towards India from Central Asia and the invasion began 100 years after the Kushanas. Gupta's administrative system.